All right, so the Warriors beat the last place Houston Rockets today in Houston, beating them by 26 points. Final score was 113 to 87. And this was a good win because obviously we were coming off a couple of losses, and it was good to regroup ourselves and get back to 500, as now we're 32 and 32. And yeah, Curry pretty much was crazy in this game. He's always pretty consistent and really good. Curry had 30 points. Wiggins had 20, so those were the kind of the leading scorers. But Michael Mulder, who's been actually performing pretty well lately, had 17, and Jordan Poole also respectively had 17 points. And I mean, the bench players helped out a lot more too, as well as, the starters that we don't usually see scoring as much. For example, Draymond Green, he had 9 points, which for him is pretty good. Looney had 6, Bazemore had 6, and Juan Toscano Anderson had 6. So, helping out right there. Obviously, the Rockets are not a good team. Their leading scorer was Kenyon Martin and Kevin Porter Jr. Both had 16 points. Jayshawn Tate had 14, 8 for Kelly Olynyk, 10 for Christian Wood. But obviously not a good game for them. No John Wall. So definitely a good dominant performance by the Warriors. There was really no doubt in my mind they'd win this. However, they were outscored at halftime, but the Rockets had an atrocious third quarter, only scoring 12 points, as opposed to the Warriors' 39 points in the third quarter, and which really put them up. I mean, that's 27 points there difference. So very good win for the Warriors. Curry, like I said, he had a lot of highlight plays. I'm glad to see him back because he has been playing good lately. He's always playing good, but he sometimes has games where he's not always good. But I mean, the Rockets did play good towards the beginning of the game. I'll give them credit for that. A lot of unlikely players were scoring that I don't usually see scoring. But I mean, good one for the Warriors. They're wearing their Oakland jerseys tonight, which they always play pretty good in. So I mean, that's good. But yeah, definitely good to see out there. I'm glad to see Wiggins do well too, because he's been in need of redeeming himself because he's been playing pretty sloppy lately. But I mean, when you're playing a team like the Rockets, it kind of gives you a blank canvas to express your good play, because they're not a very good team. Looking at the standings, it's getting interesting now. We're 64 games into the season. The Warriors are 9th place. However, we are half of a game back of 8th. And that's the Grizzlies, who are 32 and 31. We're 32 and 32. And the Trailblazers are not too far ahead of us as well. And the Lakers, surprisingly, aren't doing that well either. So we'll see what happens. Good win for the Warriors. But yeah, in terms of our schedule coming up, it's still on the easy side. We have the Pelicans twice, then the Thunder twice. So I mean, if we could win 4 of those, and all 4 of those, and go on that 5-game win streak, that could get us up to 8th place and maybe even 7th. So that is definitely a positive. Losing to the Timberwolves is annoying because, we would have been on an even bigger win streak in terms of our future standing if we won these next ones. But we had to lose to the Timberwolves because we played sloppy against a team that's normally not very good. But good one for the Warriors. Play of the game is Stephen Curry, obviously, because 30 points. Warriors won by 26, so he was a driving force to beat the Rockets. And I don't believe the Rockets have beat us all year, so another dominant win. Warriors had good 3-point percentage, good field goal percentage. The Rockets did not. The Rockets were 9 for 42 on threes, so just goes to show that how much of a need for improvement they are going to have. But yeah, good game for the Warriors. Like I said, next game will be against the Pelicans for a 2-game set in New Orleans. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts, and go Warriors.